the slow, he can throw the slow behind Vayne, and then all of a sudden Vayne has this long kind of arduous path to get around in order to get to safety, and it opens up opportunities for free harass.
And also, I don't believe the tumble can actually go through the entire width of the slow.
Yeah, no, it's so short.
So the tumble can only go so far. So Judge Reinhold we're definitely trying to get our money's worth for the slow when we do put it out there, or at the very least force the tumble away, lose a little bit of mana in the process, and just keep our harass up.
But we do have Nocturne coming down into this bottom lane. He is going to be able to get into that first push there. He is level 6, but Janet is going to be a concern, so they're actually backing off for a sec. Oh, the snare almost hitting. Does
not get what we need. If that hit, we would have seen Livingston go in there. It would have been risky. They would have been ridiculously close to tower, but you know what? I think it's definitely worth a shot. But here he is. We actually see him coming back around again, throwing out the Q, getting some harass down, but we do have the shield coming in onto Vayne, so double lift is going to be pretty well protected. And you also see TMS getting some harass down on Arya in mid, but looks like Livingston may actually refocus attention here on mid. But looks like Big Fat is just going to stick back just for a little bit. Knows Nocturne's in the area. We saw Nocturne leave bot, but looks like he's just going to go ahead and farm back up on his wolves. And we see Hotshot and St. Vicious pushing top lane relentlessly. Ispara has really no recourse here because since they're pushing beyond the tower. If he wants to engage us, it's a 2v1 with no tower protection. Wow, that thing got low, man.
Yeah, no, they've just been pushing it really aggressively, zoning the creeps so that they don't have that potential for defense. And it's interesting, you know, that AD Nidalee versus the Shen. Shen going with a lot of cloth armors, you know, has a lot of resistance and then health, but even so, he can't stand up to her. So she's able to just constantly push down here. But we do see Nocturne coming in this mid lane. It's going to be a really hard gank. Not really a lot of potential there with Ahri versus Anivia.
I just noticed now, dude. Look at the creeps. Whoa, we actually got the orb and the charm going on TMS. We actually have the egg forced. Livingston is still here though to try and dissuade Big Fat. We got the fear going down, but it actually breaks just too far away. It looks like TMS is like just kind of sitting there. I think he kind of accepted his fate there.
I hope he hasn't DC'd.
I really hope we don't have the DC on our hands.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. We will get away fine.
But at least he's off the creeps now.
Yeah, at least he's off the creeps. And even then, even if he didn't get DC'd, Livingston was still here to protect from any harass that Big Fat would have had. So we still had a little bit of insurance there, but we got the bind going here down on double lift. Judge Reinhold's trying to get away, but right under towers, nothing doing. We got the Janna ult to try and heal a little bit of Vayne, but Ricari is actually there with the few auto attacks he needed to get off that kill. So we exchanged an AD for support. It's a little bit of an advantage for Rosewill, but still, man, look at top lane, dude.
Yeah, it's just such an aggressive lane with that Nidalee push. They do have a ward down by this red here. They probably need another one for a little bit more map control, but Nidalee is so mobile.
40
it'll be tough for that kill.
40 creep kills ahead. That's pretty nuts right now.
Yeah, Hotshot just really controlling that lane with his farm currently.
So TMS he's back in mid, but we also see that St. Vicious is now swarming once again to continue the harass on Ispara top. And you know, we have one level up for Hotshot over Ispara. He can't really defend this push that well. And we can get the taunts off, we can get the turret to do a little bit of harass, but all this time they're just getting free hits on this thing. And now we see Nocturne, we see Anivia coming up here. We got the Nocturne ult coming in here down on St. Vicious. We have the fear. He was kicked during the duration, so he wasn't all too effective, but St. Vicious is running the wrong way. And he gets slapped right into an ice cream sandwich there, courtesy of TMS on Anivia.
Yeah, and so they're trying to just really aggressively push that top lane, draw the attention away. One thing that it does do is it opens up an opportunity for this blue steal. And so Big Fat coming down here, he needs Chouster and Double Lift to come help him before Anivia gets down, but now it's too late. And so we actually see all of the team coming down, and they are grouped. We actually have Big Fat jumping on the Judge Reinhold. He's going to get some nice burst damage really quickly. The flash gets him out of there, and then actually the Ignite should be able to pick it up, but the Shen ult, and so Big Fat is going to go down. They don't pick up Anivia as well. Double Lift going down, so there's 2 kills for 1, and now actually Ispara is going to be teleporting back up to this top lane to prevent that push, but the damage is done, and Anivia is going to be able to pick up this blue.
I was a little bit scared there for TMS. Got so incredibly low, but we're still going to go back in there to grab that blue because it's so sorely needed. I just hope the Golem just doesn't decide to attack.
Oh, God!
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, that was a concern.
It was a legitimate concern, yeah.
the big thing is they, Livingston didn't want to take it, so
Yeah.
it's pretty common to switch off aggro, but he needed to kind of just run around and tank it for a little bit, and with that low mana, TMS couldn't burst it down. We do have the red buff on Hotshot, but I don't think he has enough damage. Aspara jumping in on him, there's the Ignite onto him, but if he can chase him down, he actually won't be able to pick it up, but now Rekieri is right out of position. We have the slow, and then the kickback on St. Vicious, going to be able to chase him down with that red buff, and then actually the flash into the ult, but now Chowster is stuck underneath the tower, taking some quick damage, does go down, and can they turn onto St. Vicious? They will back off, so unfortunately, that kill doesn't really work out for them.
They got their kill. It may have been under tower, but you know what? W's a W, and it's something that Rosewill definitely needs right now because they are still a little bit behind in gold. Top lane is not doing so hot, so whatever the other two lanes can do to try and recoup the loss in gold, the loss in pressure, it's all worth something huge at this moment. If we can secure our own blues, Dragon is back up, so we may see some pressure around that in the very near future, unless St. Vicious decides to go in for it once more. But any small advantage that Rosewill can get now at this point in the game would just pay off so well for them.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a pretty strong teamfight team. Nidalee, that's one of her weaknesses, obviously, has always been how much teamfight control you can have. And so AP Nidalee is a little bit better for that because you can, have that poke down, but you're still weak during fights. You're just good for the poke. AD Nidalee is kind of unusual from that respect. You don't really want to have these full-blown fights. You want to kind of just draw the enemy out all over position, have that split pushing going, so you can take advantage of small, like 1v1 situations. But in the meantime, Rosewill doing a good job positioning themselves for this dragon. They definitely don't want to allow CLG to sneak another one there. But it's difficult because Hotshot just continuing the pressure up on top lane, and he has the red buff. He can get off that harass on Shen, and if Shen ever decides to leave, that's a tier 2 tower down. Yeah,
well, this is the game plan we see a lot from CLG. Just Hotshot, top lane, just. You don't need to be with the rest of your team, just as long as you can go ahead, continue to push and take down towers, it's fine. Double lift being focused down beneath tower, but we got Livingston coming down in, and the Lux Laser will actually be able to pick that one up from afar. We see Nocturne taking the tower as the rest of Rosewill walks away. That was a good pickup under tower, but we do see Big Fat getting the engage in here on TMS. The ult from Shen. We may be here just in time to protect. Yes, we will. We did have the Ignite go down on TMS, and just once again, barely. And I can expect right now TMS to die to a neutral creep any second.
Yeah, but the egg is up now, so it won't be as much of an issue. Ori looking for the burst, had enough, but the Shen ult able to stop him, and now we have a free dragon. We actually have Saint coming in here. He is going to contest it, with Janna and Ari as well. They are able to hold on to it, but in the meantime, they are going down quickly. Hotshot going to be able to pick up this kill, maybe. There's actually the Saint kick into the queue onto Graves, so they're able to pick that up, and then the rest of the team has to retreat, but the dragon, was taken by Rosewill, so they have that advantage. But even so, they did lose a number of kills. So 2-0, and now CLG is going to get a huge push off of this. They're going to be able to take this mid turret. We'll see if Big Fat can pick up a kill behind the turret.
Well, I mean, Dragon is worth roughly about the equivalent goal of 2 kills, but because there's so many men down, they're also going to lose the turret. So in the end, based off that engagement, it is going to be a net loss for Rosewill, unfortunately. And we actually see CLG. We got I think we're just going to see some wards on Baron. I think it's still a little bit too early for them to even consider starting that, even though we do have the Wriggles and we do have a whole bunch of shield options for CLG. They're just going to go ahead and be more than content with securing their own buffs and their own creeps.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have seen that video from the Corsair Vengeance Cup, but the backdoor Baron where, you just kind of jump over the wall for Baron, CLG dropping a ward in here. We do have Shen, Nocturne, actually Nocturne doesn't have it, but Shen, Graves, and no, I guess there's not really a lot of potential.
Nocturne can ult in. But there's definitely the options for that once we start getting around to that point in the game. And we see the Lux Slow just sticking behind Double Lift, making sure that, you're not going to be, if you're going to leave, you're not going to be doing it all too easy. So Rosewill is now just starting to try and find their spot. Hotshot, once again, trying to push down top lane once again. And CLG is now, once we start getting to those huge team fights, well, we actually got Double Lift here. We popped the ult. We got the Nocturne ult coming in. Livingston trying to focus down Vayne. We got the Fear going down, but we do have the Lux stun here. Chowster is rooted for just a moment. They are not able to capitalize on it, but they did manage to make Chowster burn the ultimate, so that will be good for them for the next few moments in case we have another huge team fight come in.
Yeah, and really nice control by Double Lift there, constantly kiting in that fight. Even though they were getting on him and having those disables, they weren't ever able to burst him down, so he was able to keep himself alive. The blue should be pretty easy for Nivea
But
here.
Big Fat's
Already
being
sitting
sneaky,
over
though.
there, but we do have Lee Sin picking up that red.
Big Fat might come in to try and steal his ult is up, but you know what? Nope, just too much damage there. 3 members of Rosewill will be able to secure that. I thought we were going to see like an ult in, steal it, ult out, but I think that might have been just a little bit much.